Hello to everyone. My name is Stephen Wilson, and I am a Senior Principal Analyst working in the Service Provider team at Omdia. And I'm joined here today by Sylwia Kechiche, who is a Principal Analyst at Ookla. And today we're going to talk a little about the 2023 Network X event, which will take place later this month in Paris. Now, just to start off, Sylwia, I mean, how do you think the telecoms market has evolved since last year's Network X event? And what do you think you expect to see as some of the major themes for this year's 2023 Network X event?
Thanks, Stephen, for the question. I think it is all very telling that the name of the event is Network X, because we used to have 5G Expo, fiber broadband forums, and I think it is all about networks and what you can do with those networks. So last year we have heard about different business models, how you have to actually innovate to make sure you get return on investment. We have heard quite a bit from alternative operators, how you have to look to outsource your towers and so on. And I think the conversations around 5G monetization, how we going to deploy 5G standalone and what sort of use cases are there, how we're progressing in terms of fiber deployment. I mean, we've made massive progress, but we're still not there yet. There is a gigabit society goals across the European Union. Some countries are progressing faster than the others. There's a massive amount of help coming from the government. But again, we're still quite far away from ubiquitous connectivity. And I think that's something that for me is really important theme is it is connectivity and what do you do with that connectivity and by any means necessary. So be it fiber, be it 5G, 4G, satellite, fixed wireless access, I think that's what we're going to really hear this year. It is about how do you deploy the best quality network and become a little bit more network agnostic as opposed to really zeroing in on which technology is better than the other.
Indeed, yes. I mean, I think that's very interesting, and certainly you hit upon some of the real key trends that we're seeing. So I suppose my next question then is, what is the role that Ookla plays in the telecoms ecosystem?
Thanks. It's a very important question because Ookla is typically associated with speed test. And when you think about speed test, you think about fastest, slowest. It's not only about being faster and slower. I mean, in terms of the way we think about our role in the ecosystem, we're really trying to ensure that everybody has access to good quality networks. Because again, being connected is so paramount in terms of everyday life. You have to have connectivity to participate in the society nowadays. And Ookla's role is to measure those networks and then help the ecosystem players, operators, vendors to manage networks better and more efficient and more consistent. And I think what also is important is that narrative in the industry is moving away from just speeds. So not just the fastest, it's about reliability, is ensuring the connectivity needs and so on. And as part of that, we are an active participant of WBA forum, and at this year forum there's going to be annual flagship report launch called the WBA Broadband Development Index, where Ookla's data is used again to measure and analyze development and what sort of investment is needed to level up the broadband networks across a number of countries. So from our point of view, from Ookla's point of view, it's not all about speed. It's about really trying to understand what sort of improvement you get in terms of latency, reliability, what is the quality of experience that end users get. This is really important because at the end of the day, it is all about users and trying to make sure that they experience the connectivity in the best possible way.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, and you hit upon some really important points there. I mean, just to add from my perspective, so I've done some work as part of the World Broadband Association as well, and as part of the broadband advocacy working group, we've really been looking at why it is important and beneficial to invest in broadband, and certainly the Ookla data there has been really valuable for our research output. So one other question here, Sylwia, is around, can you tell us about Ookla's participation in Network X this year?
For sure, and I'm really looking forward to being in Paris in a couple of weeks' time. Hopefully, it's going to be nice weather, and the food is always good. So I'll be moderating a panel discussion, looking at the role of fiber, and how fiber is changing in terms of the wholesale, private equity, altnets, and what's the role operators play across European fiber to the home marketplace. So how does it look like today versus tomorrow? I mean, I'll be joined by some really exciting speakers: Dana Tobak from HyperOptic, Rob Hamlin from City Fiber, Marta Wojciechowska from FiberHost, and Luke Hendricks from ECTA. And I think the discussion is all about, again, as I said before, connectivity. It is about ensuring that end users get access, but in terms of running on fiber, there's still a lot of challenges. So there's a vast amount of networks and competitors out there, and we see quite a lot of consolidation happening at the moment in the UK because it is not sustainable to have so many players. But we also see that alternative operators have helped in the past to actually push the fiber forward across Europe, and so that's my little bit at the show. But we're also going to have our Chief Strategy Officer, Chip Strange, delivering a keynote speech at the WBA Broadband Development Congress. And then he's going to be discussing how broadband will evolve. So talking about a vision in terms of how it is not all about, again, speeds. It's about ensuring that everybody has equal access to connectivity, and connectivity being really not necessarily a human right, but it is becoming a human right, and how it is so paramount to ensure good connectivity, not only now, but in the future, before we start talking about all the exciting future use cases such as metaverse, immersive reality, and so on, and how you will have to ensure the good quality of experience. And last but not least, we're also going to have a booth at the show for the first time. So I think the number is D19. So come and meet us and check out what is that we do and what sort of data we have and insights we have at the show.
Great. Well, lots of activity there from Ookla, and I think from our side, we're all looking forward to the show very much and looking forward to seeing everyone in Paris later this month. So thank you very much, Sylwia.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening.
Thank you.